The sheep have been pumped out of Hampden because Rangers fans hijack the ticket sales over at Aberdeen because some silly mongoloid decided to put it on general sale. 4-for-1s. What's that all about?
I don't know, what is that all about?
Well, why would they do that? I mean, honestly, see all these Aberdeen fans pretending that, oh, look at us, we sold 17,500 tickets out, when in reality, it was on general sale, and anyone, I mean, Celtic fans could have bought these, Livingston fans could have whipped and got 4 tickets here. I mean, 4-for-1 is embarrassing. Imagine buying 1 ticket and getting 4.
What relevance does that have to the question here?
Well, I'll tell you the fucking relevance here, right? This has to be addressed. The people in the comment section of this channel think that Aberdeen have sold out 17,500, which makes them think that they deserve a 50-50 split. Now, I'll be honest, I think it should be.
Well, it's good to know that you're being honest, like, not lying to us.
I think, well, hey, I'm going to lie here, no, I'm not. I think a 50-50 split should happen. But then there should be like a 2-week time period where if they haven't sold out a certain amount of tickets, the other team get the allocation. Because that's just the reality of it.
Right, you're not talking pish now, can I go?
Why am I talking pish?
You're talking about Rangers hijacking tickets when the fucking polls about should be teams getting a 50-50 split. I couldn't give a shit who's bought tickets.
Alright,
I couldn't care if the UK government's bought a bunch of tickets to fucking house Somalians at Hampden. What I care about is who's getting the fair share. Is it a 50-50 split, or do the bigger teams deserve more?
Well, they prefer more. No, they don't deserve dick. No, they don't. It should be a 50-50 split unless the team who is not one of the big two can't facilitate. What is it, 26,000? Right about that.
Something around that mark. Anyway, guys, welcome back to Fog Football. Put up the poll here. We need to know the question. Should all teams get a 50-50 ticket split in semi-finals and finals at Hampden? Now, here is the problem. I think, ideally, a 50-50 split would be fair. I think one team should get 50%, half the stadium, and the other team obviously gets the other half. Because it is a semi-final, it is a final, and it should be neutral. It's a neutral venue, therefore we should have a neutral amount, we should have a fair share amount of fans, an equal amount. That would be the right thing to do, that would be the fair thing to do. However, we've got to accept that in Scotland, there's not many teams that can bring 25,000/26,000 to a semi-final final. There's not many teams at all. We're probably looking at half a dozen, if that. And then outside of that, there's probably not that many clubs that can bring 15,000+. And then is there 10,000+? Is there many teams that can bring that? Probably not. So, I mean, the majority of the clubs in Scotland would be lucky if they can sell a fifth of Hampden. That's the sad state of affairs here. So, as much as I would like it to be a 50-50 ticket split, it's unlikely to happen because not many teams can do that. And you can't exactly have an empty stadium. And I get it, people are saying, well, give each a team a small amount first, and then if one side cannot sell out their half, their allocation, then you give the other team a chance to, like, buy those tickets. And at the end of the day, all that does is create an unfair advantage, because it means the team with the more fans will obviously have more tickets, and therefore they have a home-like advantage at the game. So, for example, if Rangers are playing, let's say, Gretna, we know that Gretna can't bring 25,000, so we could say, all right, let's give Gretna 25,000, and then if they only sell at 5, we'll give Rangers the other 20. Now that does seem fair, but then at the end of the day, all you're doing is creating a massive lopside in terms of the fans in the stadium, and you're giving like Rangers probably like a 90-10 split in their favour. So it's difficult. You either give one team a massive advantage in terms of fan support, or you have to have like the stadium 30% empty. And that's just not ideal. That's not a good look for Scottish football. It's not a good look for Hampden. It's not a good look for the side that only brought a small amount of fans. It's not a good look for anybody. It's not a good look for the game. It's not ideal. Final should have a packed out stadium. You want a good atmosphere on the day as well. We know Hampden isn't exactly the best place for atmosphere, so you factor in a decent chunk of people missing from the stands, and the atmosphere is going to get even worse. So I don't think there's a fair way this can be dealt with, unless it is two teams that are capable of selling out their half. And I think the problem with this is that Aberdeen are capable of selling out their half. However, they were not given a chance to do so. I think that Aberdeen have shown in the past that they can sell out half a Hampden. And I know there's been on occasions where they haven't, but this was against Rangers. This is a final. We know that Aberdeen fans are going to be up for this, just like the players are. When they take on Rangers, they're going to up their game, just like the average Aberdeen fan is going to up their game to purchase a ticket. So I think they made a mistake here. I think this was a game that should have seen a 50-50 split, but it is what it is. They decided to give Rangers more. Aberdeen fans now not happy about it, and there's also been a series of fuck-ups with the ticket allocation, and they've allowed points members to purchase tickets, and we've now apparently we have like fans from other clubs that have bought fans for Rangers that have bought Aberdeen side tickets, so who even knows how that is going to play out. But look, we put it up for a poll. Yes, everyone deserves a fair split, got 63%, and then no, bigger teams should get more, got 37%. So yeah, about 2/3 of you guys believe that everyone gets a fair split. But how does that work out? So everyone gets a fair split. Rangers get their 25. Let's say Aberdeen only sell out 17. What should happen after that? Does the remaining 8,000 go to Rangers? Or does the remaining 8,000 stay empty? If the remaining 8,000 goes to Rangers, then already Rangers have a fan advantage because they've sold out their half, whereas Aberdeen haven't sold out their half. And if you give the rest, Aberdeen's remaining unsold tickets to Rangers, you're just giving them an even larger increase on the fans and an even larger advantage. So I don't think it works. You can give Aberdeen an opportunity to sell out their half, but if they're unable to sell out their half, then you're still giving the other side an advantage. So it's either you do that, it's either you give one team a fan advantage, or you have the stadium sitting with like completely empty stands. Unfortunately, there's no way to fix this. And it won't be fixed. There's no fair way to do it. You either have half an empty stadium, or you have fucking one team have a much larger support of fans.
I think at all costs you've got to have a full stadium. I think you seen what Aberdeen and Aberdeen and Hibs produced in the semi-final. It was a poor showing. I mean, the League of Ireland, right? Final. Guess what the attendance was there? I think it was a couple of days ago.
Stadium.
The big one, the Afiva.
Who's in it?
Bohemians against St. Pat's, I think. Don't quote me on that.
24,000.
43,000.
Well, that's not fucking bad.
No, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that's what the Afiva holds, and I don't quote me on that. Might be wrong. Right.
I think the Aviva holds 60.
Does it? Right, fair enough. But anyway.
Well, that's more than what Aberdeen and Hibs brought combined.
Yeah, that's my point. And, you know, we always talk about, I mean, obviously...
How Scottish football's so fucking good.
Yeah. Like, let's be real, right? Yeah, Aberdeen fans are going to, final against Rangers, but should they not be turning up for a chance to get into the final? I think it's a disgrace how many fans turn up for that semi-final, man.
But maybe Ireland, maybe they don't have the situation that we have in Scotland where everyone's fucking glory hunters and you get people...
I disagree, because a lot of people... There's this guy on TikTok called Nasty, and he supports Man United, but then he goes to the Bohemian games and pretends that he's... You know what I mean?
Well, no, but Man United doesn't count. That's a team from a different country. That doesn't count.
Doesn't count?
No, it doesn't count.
Yeah, but Ireland don't really fucking have any teams to support, do they?
That's like someone...
If they
No. That's like someone being from... That's like someone being for Dundee, and they support Dundee, but they also support Manchester United, and you're like, they're glory hunting. Are they really? They're supporting the club in their country from the city that they're in. I don't see how... If someone from Ireland wants to support an English team, they're entitled to do that. Glory hunting...
Despite bashing English all the time.
Glory hunting... That's got nothing to do with glory hunting. Glory hunting would be someone in Ireland who is from a city that has a shite football team, and they decide that they want to support one of the best football teams in the country, like Shamrock Rovers or Dundalk. That would be glory hunting.
Well, Bohemian's one of the best countries in the world.
They're not a country, they're a club, mate.
That's what I mean. Right, club. Best country, Bohemians Dublin. But yeah, you get my point.
Well, I don't know. I don't keep an eye on Irish football. I couldn't tell you if Bohemians are good or not.
I think 43,000, man, is really good for the League of Ireland.
It is.
And I think that Scotland should be ashamed that Aberdeen and Hibs, you know, two of the five biggest clubs, can only produce, 28,000 at a semi-final?
So what I'm saying is, if the majority of the country didn't support just two teams, then maybe we wouldn't have that issue in Scotland. So yeah, let's look at the Colin fucking Matthew Miles, of course, is first. So we're going to go news first, because I want to read his first thing.
No, but my point is with the League of Ireland thing, right? You can talk about, you can support two teams, but they support United as their main team, right? And they just go to, like, the League of Ireland games because that's where they are. We've seen it with that guy who's on Goldbridge show, Craig. I'm sure he's a League of Ireland team. I think that's cheap. I think there's a big difference. Personally, but anyway, let's move on into the comments. Right, Gary Lyle says, more chance of a sellout if bigger teams get more tickets, and smaller clubs can't even sell the tickets given to them anyway. True. We've seen last season with Celtic against Inverness. Inverness were never going to bring 25,000, were they?
No.
Not a chance, but obviously, right, there is more chance of a sellout if the bigger teams get the more tickets for the get-go, because, like you say, the small teams aren't going to get that. But I think every team should be given the opportunity, because let's be real, right? See if Rangers and Celtic, if it's 2 weeks before the final, and then they're given the option of, right, this team couldn't sell it, so we're giving you the option now to sell it their allocation. Of course they're going to sell it. I don't understand what's the problem with that. It's piss poor management for the SFA.
But it's also difficult with seating arrangements. It's not ideal to, like, give a team a full stand to choose from and then decide, no, you can't sell out the rest of your tickets, so we're going to give this section out to the other club. The ideal situation would be, you get this half of the stadium, the other club gets this half of the stadium, that's it. Sell out what you can.
Right, but no, it should be simple, man. If the SFA give a fuck, they could sort it out, right? So, 25,000, so say, right, this section here, that's 6.5, that takes you up to 13, and then see once the smaller team unlocks the 13, then they can go into the next section, rather than spacing out sporadically.
So you're saying
thousands of people
so Rangers get 25, Aberdeen get 17, you're saying there should be like what's that leave, 8, 9,000, 10,000?
Yeah, something like that.
So you're saying there should be a section that they just don't even sell out till later towards...
Until the smaller team can unlock, because like you say, how much of a mess is it when you see like loads of empty seats? It's better having one full block. That's the way I would do it, but of course that's not the way it happens.
I guess so. Rangers Metal, A-Face said, treat Celtic and Rangers 50-50 and face both sides of the Old Firm with the same way, instead of showing up for one and lay down to the other. Thoughts on that?
I don't really understand what he's going for.
Treat Celtic and Rangers 50-50, and I think he's maybe suggesting that Aberdeen. He might be talking about Aberdeen. I'm assuming he's talking about Aberdeen, saying that they should play Celtic.
Oh, right, yes, I get it now. I thought he was on about ticket allocations.
Well, that's what the poll's about, so I'm not really... I just used the Aberdeen badge logo for an example, because Aberdeen are in the final. This poll doesn't just... it's not regarding Aberdeen necessarily, it's regarding clubs in general. I'm just using Aberdeen because they are one half of the Viaplay Cup finalists, so... Yeah, let's read the replies then. Let's see what we have. T-Bone McCabe said same as Hearts then.
Hearts slide into both of them.
I'm guessing you didn't see the game, Ibrox, when they were close to beating us 1-0, or when us twice in Shite Castle before the pandemic.
Well, I mean, Hearts have been shy against the Old Firm for a lot of years now. I mean, when was the last time Hearts even got an assault against them? It feels like years ago.
True, but I would say over the past 5, 6, 7 years, whatever, Hearts have had more results against Rangers. But then again, I wouldn't say that's necessarily... I wouldn't say Hearts necessarily try harder against Rangers. I just think, let's be honest, for the longest time now, Celtic have been better than Rangers, and it'll be easier for clubs in Scotland to get a result against Rangers than it will be Celtic, because Celtic have been the best team.
Hearts finished
27 that's like saying fucking Bournemouth try harder against Manchester United than they do Manchester City because they've got better results against Man United over the past 10 years while they've been in the Premier League. It's not the case. Case is, over the past 10 years, Man City have been a lot better than Man United. Therefore, it's easier to get a result against Man United than it is against Man City. And I think that's the case with Rangers. I think for a club outside the Old Firm, it's been easier to beat Rangers since 2012 than it has been Celtic. I think that's fucking undeniable. So, to me, that's what all the results and statistics boil down to.
Well, yeah.
Now, I'm not denying that Aberdeen try more, or they would rather beat... I think if you asked the average Aberdeen fan, and you allowed them a win at Ibrox, or a win at Celtic Park, I think they're taking Ibrox all day long.
Yep.
But I would say the bigger reason as to why Aberdeen have better results against Rangers is because Rangers are not as good as Celtic.
Yeah,
and if you look at the last 10 years, Hearts have better results against Rangers. They have more wins against Rangers than they do Celtic. The Hearts try harder against Rangers than they do Celtic? Absolutely not. But Rangers are easier to get results against, so...
They try harder against Celtic then?
Well, Hearts?
Aye.
I would value a win over Celtic more than I would Rangers. I'll say that, no bother right now.
I think Andy Halliday would know.
I'd rather Hearts win at Celtic Park than they won at Rangers, won at Ibrox every day of the week.
Jambo Bear, that's good to know.
Yeah, drop that shit. My name's no Ewan Cameron, I'm no dick. Aidan Nitch said A, and they shat it.
They did shat it.
Aberdeen wants Celtic to win the league, so they will only show up against Rangers and lay down to you to help you win the league. It's called jobbing.
Jobbing it for Aberdeen.
The thing is, alright, can we honestly say that how many titles Celtic won in the past since Rangers went down? 11?
Yeah, 11, yeah.
11 titles, right? Can we honestly say, right, that Celtic have won any of those 11 titles because of what Aberdeen did?
No. Well,
but can we say that the time Aberdeen finished above Rangers, it was because of what Celtic did? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's one team that actually has laid down and allowed the other team to win, and that was Celtic, when they pretty much chucked a game against Aberdeen so that Aberdeen would finish ahead of Rangers. But I don't think you can look at any of Celtic's 11 league titles since 2012 and go, if Aberdeen had a tried harder against Celtic, Rangers would have won the league. There's been no title close enough, really, other than Ange's first season in charge, that you could even make that claim.
Yeah, they did draw at Rangers 2-each at Ibrox. Remember Scott Brown with the diving header. But you know what, right?
What's your thoughts on what I said there?
I think that season probably like the one example.
I'm saying that's the only season you could make a case for it. That's the only season where the points tally's been close enough that you could suggest, well, if Aberdeen did get better results against Rangers than they did against Celtic, then you could make that. You could. No, make a case.
Right, because let's be real, right? Yeah, Aberdeen, they don't try as hard against Celtic as they do Rangers, right? We've established that. But if we're talking about actually lying down, Celtic lie down to them. Like at Parkhead. I think Celtic fans would admit that.
Well, answer the quick. Have Aberdeen been the reason Celtic have won any of their 11 last titles?
No.
Fair enough.
Maybe apart from the Ronnie Dahlia years where they could have done something about it, like.
Aidan Nitch.
Because let's not, it would be incredibly weak from a Rangers perspective to blame Aberdeen for Celtic winning trophies instead of, our own fucking team. Well, that's paranoia behaviour. You can talk about them lying down or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's in Rangers' own hands. If Aberdeen lie down against Celtic, well, how about we fucking force them to lie down against us by pumping them?
I agree. Rangers Metal Atheist said, okay, let's see how they play against us on the 26th. I think we will win, but it won't be 6-0.
It'll be 8-0.
Well, I think that's a fair assumption to make. I mean, 6-0 isn't an average result. It's not like that's a normal result. Like, it's not a common result. So, yeah, I think Aberdeen will lose to Rangers, but it will probably be close. We would never sell a club for... I thought, this guy not say £1?
Yeah, the usernames change sometimes. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, Aberdeen deserve 50% of the ticket allocation.
Alright, fair enough. Adequate Dan said 50-50 unless it's some League 2 team with 500 fans. The only problem is, I mean, it's not like League 1 and Championship clubs have 25,000 fans.
True. Especially when it gets like a Falkirk, Dundee United, and Fairmont, those sort of teams.
Some League 2 clubs actually have more fans than League 1 clubs.
Yeah, that's for sure. Colin Williams says, no chance should the Sheep Rustlers get a 50-50 split when they don't even get 10,000 at their home games except versus Pedo FC or the famous Glasgow Rangers, so no way.
Well, that is wrong. I would say Aberdeen at Pittodrie get 10,000 every game.
No, wait, it's not. There's 12,000 seats, tickets left for their game against Rangers, that 26th game. Or no, is it the 26th? Whatever game, no, is it 26th? Is that not embarrassing that they haven't even sold that out yet? Or nearly?
I disagree. I think Pataudry has about 15,000, 16,000 every week.
No, I'm not talking about the 10,000 here. I'm talking about the fact there's 12,000 tickets still fucking ready to go.
Well, people are still going to buy them.
But 2 weeks away.
Alright.
For the biggest game of the season.
Alright, they don't get 10,000 people at home. Right.
Yeah, if the players are going to turn up, at least the fans should as well, should they not? Come on, man. No, they do get 10,000 at home.
Aidan Nitch says, Harry Dunn, get it right fucking up your rat. Stephen Robertson, only the Old Firm can sell their tickets for the semi-final and final. They are the lifeblood of the Scottish game. I wouldn't say only the Old Firm. When Hibs played Rangers in the Scottish Cup final, did Hibs not have half the stadium? I think they did.
No, they did.
I think they sold it as well, so. Steve Hughes says that you're the biggest supported club, Fanny Boss. Split the tickets. If the so-called smaller clubs can't sell, then take up the allocation by all means. By the way, fuck Celtic and Rangers. We have a black flag here and a couple of middle fingers, so. Be interesting to know who Stephen Hughes supports. Jimmy Duff said the only time there should be a 50-50 split in ticket allocation is when it's Rangers vs Celtic. The other teams are lucky to get 5,000 fans at home unless they play one of the big two, so no chance. Again, why are we... Hearts and Hibs regularly are getting 17, 18, 19,000 in their home games, and that's not when they're playing Celtic Rangers.
Yeah.
I think Aberdeen, on average, I'd say they probably get maybe about 15, 16, a couple of thousand less than the Edinburgh clubs. To suggest that Hearts and Hibs are only getting 5,000 at home...
Fucking St Mirren's getting more than that.
I'm pretty sure St Mirren, Hibernian and St Mirren's the other day there, last week, 2-2, they had like 18,000.
Where are you going? Yeah, I think this is just a wee low blow here, but no, I mean, it's lies.
Michael Taylor says, absolute nonsense, Jimmy. Do Aberdeen, Hearts, Hibs, Dundee United not go over 5k in fans at home games, even if it's not the Old Firm? Of course they do, so you're completely wrong, unfortunately. Yeah, Dundee United, another club. I mean, hell, we'll even see in the Championship, Dundee United are getting over 5k, even the likes of Dunfermline. Even Falkirk in League One get over 5,000 at their home games, so, I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
That's wrong. Matthew Mel said, should always be 50-50. If one side can't sell it, I guess it goes to the other side. The champions have the biggest crowds regularly, so they should get the biggest allocation. How would the rabid horde like that? So, he thinks that Celtic should get more tickets than Rangers. Because they, on average, have a bigger...
audience? Crowd? Should they?
I'm asking you.
No, they shouldn't. Of course they shouldn't. That's just to do with stadium capacity. Let's be real.
Yeah, I think if Ibrox had 60,000, the Rangers could sell that out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Green Brigade's not selling it out.
And I wouldn't, you know, if Rangers had 60 and Celtic had 50, I wouldn't change it. You know, I wouldn't claim, you know, that's the way it should be. It should just be 50-50. And like I explained earlier, if you can do it, good. If you can't, move it on to the team that can.
Liam Gav said, I hope we see a 50-50 split for the final, but I don't think dictator Doncaster will allow it. Yeah, Doncaster's a bit of a dick. I mean, the sooner he leaves Scottish football for the best, I think. Brian McPherson, Aberdeen don't have enough supporters. I don't know if that's true. I think he's telling me Aberdeen don't have 25,000 people that'd be willing to go to a final. I mean, come on. I think they do. McDeezers FC said, so a club with 6,000 season ticket holders and had under 11,000 at the semi should now get 14,000 more tickets. Why should some fella in Aberdeen who hasn't been to a game all season and put no money into Scottish football get a ticket ahead of someone who goes to Scottish football games every week and puts thousands of pounds into our game? Question mark. You know what? I think that's a very good comment. I agree with that. Like someone who sits at home and doesn't go to the games and is only willing to buy a ticket when they can get to see their club in a final, that's not really fair that they should be getting the opportunity at purchasing a ticket over, let's say, a Rangers fan that has a season ticket that maybe goes to every home game and maybe even goes to some away games as well. So, I mean, I do get the point that you're suggesting, the point that you're making, but at the same time, it's like, if a club gets to a final isn't that on the club? Don't that club deserve a 50-50? Like, if some shite team that never has a chance to get to a final, if some crap team gets to a final for the first time in their careers, is it fair to say, well, we're only going to give you 10% of the stadium because you're a shit team? Surely that should be the reward. Sure, I remember when Wigan got to a cup final in England. I think it was the first ever cup final, and I think they were taking on Man United. And it's like, would that have been fair to go, well, you're a crap team, so you can only bring 2,000 fans?
No.
I think the reward, ideally, yeah. I mean, the people that travel to Ibrox every week should be getting a ticket over someone that only chooses to go to cup finals. I agree with that, but I think part of the reward for these smaller clubs getting to a final should be to experience the final in the same way that the big clubs can, and for me, that should be a 50-50 split.
Yeah, no, it should be a 50-50 split. And I totally get this point, but at the end of the day...
No, ideally, it would be fair for someone that goes to the games every week and has a season ticket and puts money into Scottish football.
But that's the problem with Hampden. I mean, let's be real, right? Say Hampden was 50,000 or 100,000, we're still going to have a problem with the splitting. Like, let's be real, right? Say we had a 90,000...
The bigger the stadium, the bigger the problem with the split's going to be.
Yeah, like, say you had a 90,000 seater stadium. Only the Old Firm could sell that out. That's just facts, right? 50,
yeah, but the likelihood is Celtic and Rangers could probably sell it out on their own.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, but...
So you're still going to have the same fucking issue?
Yeah, it's just going to be a case of...
It's just going to be even more lopsided.
Yeah.
You're just going to have even more Old Firm fans in there.
No, I would maybe do... I would maybe have the League Cup at Hampden and the Scottish Cup at Murrayfield.
You think the Scottish Cup should be... The more important cup should be not at the National Stadium?
Well, I think Hampden should be knocked down. I think it needs renovated. It's got nothing even to do with the attendance, like the capacity. I think it looks like a big bag of shite with the running track, personally.
What if...
I think we need a new stadium, folks.
What if for the League Cup they changed the stadium every season and they had just a club stadium host it?
Could do that, but then imagine, Rangers hosting it and they get to the final.
Yeah, no, but what if that was the case? What if they said, right, okay, for a stadium to be eligible to host it, you have to have, let's say, 20,000.
But then we've got a major problem on our hands.
So it's only the same 5.
No, but then we're talking about, like, so many Rangers fans can't get to the game at Hampden. We're only allowed 25,000 of us. No, all of a sudden, if fucking Tynecastle or Portage or Easter Road, it's down to 10.
My point is, like, in the Champions League, it's like you'll have you'll know what cities, you know what venues hosting it. I think it'd be good for teams to have an opportunity to make a final when they're the team hosting it.
Yeah, well, we've seen when Hampden was getting renovated. I mean, Celtic Park hosted it. Ibrox has hosted it things before. Murrayfield has as well.
We've had like, I'm pretty sure Easter Road's done a couple of semi-finals.
Well, there you go.
I think Tynecastle's done a semi-final as well.
I don't think they're... I mean, that's...
I'm pretty sure that in the past in Scottish, definitely 100%, when it's been a non-Old Firm semi-final, they've actually held it in a small stadium. That has happened.
I'm not denying that.
Anyway, guys, that's it. I think it should be a 50-50 split. Ideally, every club would have enough fans to sell out the stadium, but unfortunately we don't have that. And yeah, maybe if the 2 biggest clubs in our country weren't ginormous compared to the rest, then we'd have a more even split of the fans, and overall the fan bases would be bigger, and then all the clubs would be able to sell out massive stadiums. But as it stands right now, we have 2 teams that can definitely do it. We have a few more teams that can maybe do it. And then we have a bunch of teams that have no chance of doing it. So, yeah, it is what it is, guys. Kind of sucks, but let us know your thoughts down below. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.